But we go back to Renee Young.
Eh.
Oh, she's so adorable. And she interviews Bryan backstage. He says, hey, Reigns better get used to the S chance because there's going to be a lot more at Fastlane. And so Bryan feeling pretty confident. And then we go from that to Byron Saxton waiting outside of the Paige's locker room. And then the Bella Twins come out there, and they have Paige's clothes. They say if Paige is going to compete and have her match tonight, she's going to do it naked. Paige comes out of her room in just a towel. Saxton tells her which way they went. She runs into Cameron. She tries to borrow some of Cameron's clothes, and she's like, none of them would look good on you, but either way, girl, bye. God, thank you for reminding me how much I hate you, Cameron. And here I thought just Natalya had all of my hate. Looks like there's enough of it to go around. Paige turns around and she sees a group of rosebuds, and she grabs one in like a princess-looking costume, and she pulls her off screen. So we can presume that she's.
That was Leva Bates, dude.
Oh, it was very nice.
Yeah, that was old Blue Pants.
Blue. Da 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 da. But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, Mia Yim was in the Exotic Express there too.
Very cool, very cool. Oh, you never know who you're gonna see in the Exotic Express. I know my friend Matt Saigon was a part of it like a few months back, so you never know who you're gonna find. But we go from that to Summer Rae versus Paige. Summer Rae, comes out, and then Paige's music hits. She doesn't come out at first. Summer's looking a bit perplexed, but then the music hits again, and she comes out pretty much wearing the costume, which everybody raved over. Oh, Paige looks so adorable, so beautiful. I personally thought she looked absolutely adorable and so cute. So I definitely approved.
Way to bring a different point of view to the table, John.
Absolutely. Yeah, she looked horrendous. But yeah, Summer starts laughing at Paige, but Paige gets very aggressive. The match does kind of slow down a little bit at one point, and Summer does get some offense. She does that leg kind of arm hook submission hold that we've seen her do in like NXT, and it's cool looking maneuver, I guess, but it doesn't really get much out of it. And try as Summer might, it's just not enough because she ends up getting kicked in the face, and then Paige gets the Scorpion Crosslock, or the PTO as it's called now, the Paige Tap Out, and she gets the win. After the matchup, the Bella Twins come out to the stage with Paige's gear. Nikki Bella calls Paige a loser. Paige interrupts Nikki's promo. Paige says she doesn't need an outfit to make her look good like Nikki does. Ooh, sick burn.
Ooh, burn.
I love it. She just needs to win in a WWE Fastlane. She's going to be wearing something even better. The Divas title. And then Paige's music hits, and she taunts Nikki, and Nikki's just got this whole angry, pouty face going on, and she stomps to the back because truth hurts. Oh, man. And then we see Seth Rollins talking, backstage with J&J Security, and then we get another vignette for Sheamus, much to the disappointment of everybody. Still no return date announced because I'm sure WWE doesn't even know what they want to do with Sheamus at this point. After that, we go to the ring, and we see Seth Rollins in the ring with J&J Security. He says it's President's Day, a day where we honor the past. And he says that's a waste of time when the future is standing right in front of you. Look at Seth Rollins getting heat over George Washington. Unbelievable. Rollins says the word future is starting to become passé because right now he's the best performer in the entire world. And, well, I guess CM Punk doesn't have any grounds to anybody, at least not yet. He says he's the most valuable asset in WWE and is untouchable right now. Rollins says nobody can stop him, and he could even become president if he wanted. See, Ashton, there was a connection. He tied everything back together. Rollins says maybe he could take over as host of The Daily Show and make the show actually watchable. Again, we get culture. Rollins says what he really wants to do is cash in and become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He should be main eventing WrestleMania 31, but he's forced to deal with people that are so far beneath him. People like Eric Rowan, people like Ryback, and especially people like Dolph Ziggler. Fans, kind of pop for that mention. The music interrupts and out comes Ziggler with a mic. Ziggler asks why Rollins is so mad. Maybe he had a bad Valentine's Day because Mercury and Noble gave him the wrong kind of chocolates. Ziggler goes on, and Rollins says the only thing funny about Ziggler is the joke he calls a career. Ooh, again.
Ooh, burn!
Gotta start making that a thing. Rollins says Ziggler is nothing compared to him. Ziggler says he's right. He's nothing compared to Rollins, especially when it comes to being a whiny, self-protected, sellout douche. And they don't bleep out douche, folks. We got douche on the air.
I know. It was so weird.
And then, I'm gonna get so much heat for this. Ashton, I apologize to you in advance. Because Ziggler cuts the same promo again, how he raises the bar every time he's in the ring, and he goes out and says he's about to do what he does best, and that show off. He does this promo every time. Like, if I'm going to give Cena that criticism, I have to be fair and give other guys that criticism. That's Dolph's biggest selling point, that he does things better than everybody else, and he's got the it factor. You know, not to be that douche, but I remember one person pointed out, you know, Dolph, people who really have the it factor, they never really have to say it. People give it to them. And I love Dolph, and I think he's a guy with an amazing upside. It's just, you know, promos are pretty one-dimensional for my liking. You know, at least when he goes on about this stuff. So I just wanted to point that out.
No, I agree.
Yeah, kind of an eye roll there. However, what wasn't an eye roll was this match. I can never really get tired of Ziggler Rollins, you know, being in the ring, especially when they get, you know, a nice amount of time and they're really able to do their stuff. Early on, Rollins does take control with an assist from J&J Security. But then the referee's like, I'm not having any of that in this matchup. You are out of here! And then everybody loses their shit because it's like, whoa, wait, we didn't do anything wrong. And then, you know, Rollins like, guys, I got this. I'm plan B. Everything is under control. So, you know, then he goes back to work on Ziggler. Fans actually saying goodbye to J&J Security. So I guess, again, as I was mentioning with Rusev earlier, it shows that they really are, you know, good at getting that heat and just being so hateable and goofy and whatever. And then, yeah, Ziggler and Rollins just have the back and forth that you'd expect them to. They had a great sequence towards the end where it seemed like, you know, Rollins was going to go for the curb stomp off the top. Ziggler was going to go for the famouser, but Rollins ducks that. And then I believe, actually, no, that's right. He gets a kick in Ziggler's gut, tries going for the curb stomp again, just the normal way. Ziggler rolls out of that, and he gets the super kick and the zigzag. So that was a really fun sequence. And just as it seems that Ziggler's about to beat Rollins again, one-on-one, J&J Security runs out at the last second, and they start beating on Ziggler. But the beatdown doesn't go on for long because Ryback and Rowan run down to make the save. J&J Security throws Rollins out of the ring to safety, so they're actually pretty competent at their job, I guess. Rowan sends Mercury to the floor. Ryback powerbombs Noble and gets a Feed Me More chant going. And then Ziggler's music hits as he celebrates with Ryback and Rowan. And Triple H does not look happy watching this from the backstage monitor. But overall, I guess a pretty fun segment. Ashton, what did you think of it? Just the match and everything.
Yeah, I mean, the match was freaking crazy. It was about... see, this is my thing. Like, it was great, sure, but it was pretty much as great as any other Rollins-Ziggler match that we've had in the last month and a half, which I feel like we've gotten it like a billion times.
Yeah, see, it's kind of like I was saying, you know, it's when I pretty much said, like, it's what you'd expect from a Ziggler-Rollins matchup. There really isn't anything new to say or add to the discussion.
Right.
So...
it was, I mean, there were some cool reversals. There was, you know, Ziggler goes to do something, and then Rollins has it scouted and reverses it, and then Ziggler says, oh, no, 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 and then he does something else. And there was a lot of stuff like that, and it was good. But again, it feels like we've had this match. I'm not exaggerating this time. I think we've had this match 5 times in the last 90 days.
Yeah. And just to kind of package it all like we did with the Wyatt segments earlier, it is announced on SmackDown that a rematch is going to happen on SmackDown.
So that's going to be 6.
Yeah, J&J Security is barred from ringside.
Well, there's some good news at least. Maybe we might get a clean finish this time.
Absolutely.
I doubt it, though. We won't. It'll be just Kane and Big Show, just like normally.
You have no hope, and you have every right to feel that way.
I just feel so jaded to the main roster product right now because, like, there's so much other great stuff that we've been watching. I mean, guys, I know that we haven't really done anything as far as reviews or anything like that, but John and I recently went back and watched the 2 most recent PWG shows, Black Coal Sun and Untitled 2. And they were, I mean, there's not even a storyline involved, but they were ridiculously crazy. And then, like, this most recent episode of Ring of Honor, the main event, for God's sakes, was ACH, Cedric Alexander, and Matt Sydal versus the Young Bucks and AJ Styles. Just amazing. And then you look at NXT and everything that they're doing, and Lucha Underground and everything that they're doing, and both of those two promotions have better storyline than most of the crap going on in WWE. Storyline, storytelling, everything, plus better pro wrestling, better in the ring, everything. And I just am left here scratching my head like, why is the most well-known company in the world that has the most money to put into this stuff not investing more money on quality writers?
You know what? I mean, you've been really honest and candid about your feelings with Raw, just the main roster product lately. So I'll join you. I mean, I'm really just looking forward. I mean, literally just looking ahead to Lucha Underground, because I just can't wait to see what unfolds there. And I mean, this Raw, again, wasn't terrible by any means, but it's like Ashton said, guys. I mean, wrestling outside of the WWE bubble, and the only thing I will include in that bubble is NXT, even though I know it's so good that we often like to think it is its own brand and its own distinct thing. But, you know, not counting NXT, there's so much wonderful stuff going on outside of it. Ashton mentioned the PWG shows that we watched, Lucha Underground, which everybody should be watching if you haven't checked out any episodes yet. It's so good, and multiple storylines that I'm genuinely invested in for the payoff. Just so much good stuff. And, you know, that's why I love that this channel's kind of been branching out, you know, doing live reactions for other shows and talking
Right, and
about
that, you know what?
shows.
That's another thing that we didn't even talk about. The New Japan shows every Friday.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's another thing. New Japan, especially when they get English commentary, you know, we find that we really enjoy that. I still am smiling that, you know, with Ashton recently at Wrestle Kingdom, it was 9, right? Ashton,
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom 9. My first strong style match that I ever experienced. It was so cool, and it was so different. And, you know, it's just, I have to, because we always like to end on a positive note, so I will say this, it's sad, because WWE has the roster. I never want to make people believe that my issue is with the roster. I know that's not
Take a
Ashton's
minute,
agenda.
John. Just pause, take a
Yeah.
step back, and remind yourself, this is WWE 2015, not TNA 2005.
Right. So,
And
I mean,
what you're about to say is something that everybody and their mother said about TNA from probably like 2003 till, like, you know, today.
it never got better for them. But, I mean,
Well,
you
they've
know,
always been the company with, their roster's so good, they have so many good wrestlers, they just don't know how to use them. And now we're saying it about WWE.
yeah, that's not good. It's not good when you put the parallel like that. But, you know, it's true. I don't know how it's going to end for them, but I certainly believe it to be true, and I don't know. Just, we'll have to see if it comes together.